Second work session meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mayor Romanek?
Here.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Here.
Commissioner Sui?
Here.
Vice Mayor Watson?
Here.
Commissioner Casabun?
May you please stand to salute the flag? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This meeting is being conducted in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act of 1975, was advertised, posted, and made available to the public as required by statute. The municipal clerk is directed to include a statement in the minutes of this meeting. Madam Clerk, are there any changes to the agenda?
There are none, Mayor.
Presentations? Seeing none. Public comment on agenda items only. If anybody from the public would like to comment on agenda items, please come to the podium, state your name, address your concerns, and please limit those concerns to approximately 5 minutes. Seeing no one, I will close comment on agenda items. Discussions of commissioners. Commissioner Hewitt, go ahead.
Nothing at this time, Mayor.
Thank you. Commissioner Sui, go ahead.
Nothing at this time.
Commissioner Casabun.
Nothing at this time.
Very well. Vice Mayor Watson, go ahead. I think you have something to discuss.
Yes, we do. This one's probably going to be a longer discussion than the other items that I wanted to bring up. So I guess we'll do the water meter upgrade project discussion last. I guess first I want to start with ordinance item number 1. It's the 5-year tax agreement for the Gaudelli Enterprise, Inc. I asked Brian Rosenberger if he could join us here today, if anybody wants an explanation for this. It's a short-term tax abatement. From what I understand, it's, if Gaudelli Brothers, if they met all the criteria, which tax assessor is saying that they do, this is something that we must approve. So if anybody has any questions or concerns, I appreciate Brian for being here. Thank you, sir.
When was this built?
It was just built, 25. I've got a CO date 6/6/25.
It was a 20,000 square foot warehouse,
Correct.
and one building's worth 1.2 million. I'm guessing that's close to the construction cost.
Correct. All good?
I'm good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
If I could make a comment that there's a difference between a short-term tax abatement of 5 years and a long-term tax abatement. And if an applicant for a 5-year abatement meets all the criteria, which generally is decided by the tax assessor, then the governing body is almost compelled to grant that. A long-term tax abatement is a completely different animal, and that's discretionary. A short-term tax abatement is not.
What would be reasons we wouldn't have to grant it since we're almost compelled to grant it? I'm curious.
I'm sorry, reasons we,
Well, one of the things that we've, I think it was this year that they didn't meet the criteria was the apartments,
yeah,
right? So that was because of the dwellings, how many dwellings there was in apartments?
they didn't satisfy the definition, but I think Brian could probably address that better than I can.
Yeah, what happened was, I looked at it as a commercial project. That's why I brought it in front of the governing body. We kind of talked it out.
That's
and-
not
and then we-
Gaudelli, this is the prior
No,
one
this is the
you're talking-
apartments, yeah.
I'm not worried about the apartments.
Right.
I'm worried about the present.
Okay.
I think what are the criteria that Gaudelli has to meet in order to qualify for a 5-year abatement? I think that's the
Okay.
question.
Let me ask that. My question is, what criteria could we use to disqualify that if we wanted to? Is there any?
Anything negative as far as the 6 items that I gave to you?
Okay.
But they seem to meet each one.
That's all I got. Thank you.
Yep.
Second item I want to discuss was ordinance number 2. It's a bond ordinance for the water utility capital improvements. We decided to remove this at a previous meeting with the idea for us as the current commissioners not to agreeing to take out another bond or increasing our debt. And with the idea that these purchases wouldn't even take place this year. We know we have a new commission coming in January, and in ways it makes sense to wait, but I wanted to bring this back up for reconsideration. The ordinance is to establish accounts, not necessarily receiving the funding. Ultimately, next commission will vote on the financing bond anyway. The City of Millville Water Department doesn't have the surplus to fund the projects or proceed with what is needed. I believe we only have, 2 more meetings to include the last one, just to close out the accounts. But I think ultimately we need to kind of prepare for the next commission coming on. I believe it's, proceeding with this, it could avoid, further interruptions, and, we can make further progressions to get ready for that next commission. Just one less step for them to do that.
I'm sorry. I was just more curious if you talked to any of them. So
Yeah, so been in discussion with Commissioner Cossabin, and from what I understand, we have full support from the upcoming commission. Resolution item number 2, which is the contract for W.E. Johnson Engineering. This is to extend Mr. Johnson's contract overseeing the third secondary clarifier project. First off, I want to say Wayne and Engineering Department, outstanding. They're great to work with. Wayne has been involved in multiple projects at the wastewater treatment plant for many years. And with the third clarifier project, I think we broke ground, April, I believe? And it's projected to be completed end of spring, early summer. So I think delivery, right, there's some piping that was delivered on time. So, I think having Wayne on board, extending his contract for the rest of this year, and, extending the contract for 2026 beneficial to the city. Keep some continuity and, keep progressions.
Yeah, if I may, his involvement in this project goes back to, I thought it went back to 2015, but I just spoke with him, it goes back to 2010. So this has been and he was the engineer contractor involved with this project long before he became the municipal engineer. So he knows this project inside and out. The clarifier is just one facet of it. There was phase 1, and now we're on phase 2. And do I understand correctly that phase 2 is anticipated to be completed next year?
Yes. The clarifier project was late spring, early summer, I believe it was. So. For resolution item number 4, it's the contract award to Pleasant Drive. We tabled this as we didn't have certification availability of funds. We have that here today. And I have it in front of me, but I'll probably be abstaining.
I'll take them for you.
There you go.
I wanted to thank the finance team and engineering for putting this together for us as well. Resolution item number 9, this is a little bit more controversial. Cool.
Good.
Yeah. So, for the purchase, to replace for the final phase of the meter upgrade project, core and main, an option was presented to the city water department to complete or fulfill the order of the new meter instrumentation and radios at a discounted price. This was presented to us last week, and we were given a deadline from the vendor with we had to respond by December 10th. Obviously, that only gives us this meeting, to make our decision. Unfortunately, there was limited time for questions, concerns, and getting answers because of the holiday. Originally, I thought it was, best to put it up for tonight's discussion during work session, put it on tonight's agenda in case anybody wanted to proceed with the purchase. I do have a little bit of information here that we've gathered. Thank you, Engineering Water Department. I know our business administrator's been working on this as well, our CFO. But again, limited time gives you limited answers. But I did want to have this presented to the commission, up for discussion, anybody's opinion, kind of move forward that way. I did have the chance to speak with our city solicitor to see if we can do this as a closed session for the not this meeting, but the next meeting. I've asked our superintendent of water to reach out to the vendor to ask for an extension. That was not granted. So we can't push this off. This decision's got to be made today. We proceed with the purchase or we don't. And this is for the discount for the meters. So again, many things are considered. So this option offers a 7% discount on already given costs using the Sourcewell contract. The estimated cost for next year will increase 3.75 on the current rate we have now, so that's excluding the discount. Potentially, that's a 10.75% savings if we do this compared to waiting till next year. I think that the first order was over 3,000 meters. I think that was correct. I think for install, I have written down about 1,800. It took about 7 to 8 months for that install. That began this May. I believe that we have 1,600 in stock still on shelves, ready for install. This order is estimated about 560 more meters. You know, if we kind of use the same timetable, it'll take about 18 months to install the meters if everything goes well. I know there was some hiccups along the way, especially with, you know, trying to get residents to respond to meter tech. So that probably was a little bit of a holdup. So we'll just kind of get into the pricing. Current pricing without the year-end sale. So if we were to buy these today, without the year-end sale, it's $1,785,000. The discount price that they're offering for the end-of-year sale is $1,678,000. With the projected 3.75 increase pricing in 2026, it's going to go up to over 1.8 million, and the difference is roughly about $175,000 compared to the end of sale discount or end of year discount this year to the increase in cost next year. Going back and forth and trying to catch up with some emails, especially over the holidays. It's only been, 2 days that we've actually had the opportunity for city representatives to meet and discuss. And obviously there's a lot of concerns, like where these meters are going to be stored, how they're going to be insured, how long they're going to be sitting on a shelf before install. You know, when does the warranty take place? Do we get the warranty when they're installed, or does the warranty count as soon as we get them? Some of that I don't have answers to. I can tell you from our tax utility collector that there is potential benefits with the install of these meters. Right off the get-go, there's been issues with proper reporting. So if a meter at a resident's house is broke and we're using averages, now that the meter tech or the new meters are installed, it alleviates us from inaccurate readings, and now we're actually charging those people for the water they're actually using. You know, holding ground to the vendor was another concern. So basically, if we were to make this one-time purchase, how can we hold the vendor accountable for further installments or further purchases? You know, if we pay them, are they just going to walk away and kind of forget us? You know, is another big concern. Potential benefits, obviously there's a cost savings. And on top of that, if that's just for the instrumentation and the equipment, but there also could be potential cost savings when it comes to the install. So if we go ahead with this bulk order, we sit down with Core and Main and we discuss pricing for installation rates, you know, things of that sort. It is prevailing wage, you know, so over time I'm assuming it's going to go up if we separate these in phases. There's a lot of pros and cons to this, and unfortunately, you know, we don't have that much time to decide. Yeah, but I did want to bring this forward to the commission, try to get their input, try to see what everybody else is thinking.
My first concern would be with the warranty, because if you're buying something, it looks like it's going to take you at least a year to install it. And if it's not under warranty, and what happens if you get a batch that are no good? Now you just wasted $500,000 and you saved nothing, so there's that risk. Second, I can tell you why installs are taking so long, just from my personal viewpoint. I got a call, they wanted to install my meter, to call the number so they could arrange a time. I called the number, they said they couldn't hear me. I said, could you repeat that? They said, we can't hear you. I said, okay, call this other number. So I called another number, and that number went unanswered. I tried 3 times, and then I just simply said, why bother? So Core and Main is still doing the installs, right, at this point. And I know we don't have a set price on those installs. That price varies. And I believe we had a contract that had a set price in it. So I don't know what happened to that. That kind of went bye-byes. It seems to me there's a lot of risk involved in doing this. So you may have cost savings, you may not. And just for example, I was so happy to lose the election, I went out and bought my wife a new car. So while I was shopping for the new car, they had a 2025 model But I wanted a 2026 model. So the financing on a 2025 model, the incentive was, well, you can get that one for 1.9%. Or if you want the 26, you're going to have to wait 2 weeks, and you're going to have to pay the 4.9%. I said, you know what I want. I'll pay the 4.9% when I do the math on the $20,000 or so that I owe after the down payment. It's really not a whole lot of difference. So, you know, sales tactics are one thing, which this seems to be a sales tactic if you're telling me in December, I've got a week to make up my mind if I'm going to spend $1 million with you or not. I'm not buying that. And I think the risk is not worth, you know, the risk isn't worth the reward, I guess, is what I'm getting at in my viewpoint. Because what if you get a batch of 500 meters that are no good,
I agree.
right? And then,
I agree with that part.
Yeah,
and then
so
when you can't get them
absolutely.
replaced, and then you got to buy them again.
Different model.
Did, by chance, did the vendor say that the warranty started the day of install, by chance, or?
They didn't say, but the meters hold a 20-year warranty. So if they don't work on install, you're gonna get, they're gonna replace it.
We got that in writing, and we don't even know if a company's going to be in business 20 years, to be quite honest with you.
Well, I hope so, because they're the sole source for the meters that we're putting in.
Yeah, for now,
Well,
for now.
I mean, that, the part of me is a distributor, Census is the manufacturer.
I mean,
At any rate, to me, you have a lot of risk involved, and you don't have, you know, you mentioned the problems with not knowing a lot of the information.
Yep.
And that's a lot of money to spend without having all the information in front of you. I mean, I don't know how many meters we have sitting around still, and what do we got sitting around, 1,200, 1,800? So it's gonna take, and we've been doing this for over a year now, right? So you're not even gonna get to these meters for probably 2 years.
How many more do we need?
That's a good question.
5,000.
How many customers are there?
5,060, 5 days.
So you need 2,000 more, basically.
no, that's an additional, that's what would be,
That's
the
what?
5,060 is what we would be ordering.
Oh, we need to order 5,000 more. So 5,000 more, you're looking at 3 to 4 years to get them all in at the rate we're going. And that's not counting the ones that are just sitting there that aren't installed yet. And you don't even know what other new technology is going to come down the line then. Updated models, better models, worse models, I don't know. So I probably wouldn't support it because there's too many unknowns. But that's me.
No, I think that's fair. Like I said, just, it was an opportunity that was presented to us, and I didn't want to make the decision by myself, so I wanted to put it on tonight's work session for discussion.
There's a
How-
lot of unknowns.
When
I
was
have to
this,
agree.
when did you get this info?
Last week.
Last week? Are we in a position where we can try and force a hand to both you and Derek with trying to get some kind of, between now and 2 weeks from now when we sit down again?
I already said no.
there-
Yeah.
So
there's no
for this
bargaining
discount, it
there's-
would be
there's-
one bulk purchase. They wouldn't break it up in separate installments.
If we ordered, yeah, I mean, I think that pricing would account for a smaller order. I think the price is the price, the discounted price is, you know, if we, whatever we buy by that.
Damn it.
By the 10th.
Date.
So basically, if we decided to go with 2,000 meters, they would honor the discounted price.
Yeah,
For 2,000.
yeah, because the sale is a manufacturer sale to the distributor. So it's not a Core Main sale to us, it's a
So you,
manufacturer.
so you got the
to distributor.
manufacturer working through a middleman getting the end delivery to us.
Just for information purposes, we had recommended we buy the meters in thirds. And, you know, for 1/3 procurement, we'd have to spend $553,000 to get 1/3 of the meters to have them available. And, you know, from a collaborative effort, but everybody, Michelle actually thought of this, and I found online buying them in, you know, stages like that. You can put a procurement based upon installation. So once they put 75% of the meters in, then we would buy the next line, just to give them an incentive to get them done.
So you're holding their feet to the fire with that.
Yeah, I mean, we want them in, we want the meters in, everybody supports the meter project, 'cause it's great information, instantaneous, you know, flow information, you know, residences and businesses, great for engineering and water and billing and everybody.
Gives them a horse in a race also to get the installs in. Right now, there's no advantage for them to get the installs.
The sooner we get them in, the better for us, because the less chance there is for escalation of the installation fees and things like that. Wage rates, and there's all kinds of issues with installation. Storage is an issue. I mean, just for example, with, infrastructure trust materials, we can't store them off-site. They have to be stored at our facility. Can't buy material and store them somewhere else unless it's in a bonded certified warehouse.
So,
Cooler Maine has that.
so we don't have a bond and certified warehouse to put them here. They would have to store them for us.
Right.
Yeah, they offered to give us a storage container to go next to the ones that we have. And they also offered off-site, I think it was a location in Blackwood, for them to store the meters.
At what cost?
No cost.
No cost.
So but your original recommendation, as you said, was to buy them in thirds, so that way they have incentive to get it done.
Right.
And it doesn't look like they're moving real fast anyway. So how fast are they gonna move if you buy them all? I guess is the question.
That would be, right now, we only have the meter project opened up to one cycle, one part of town. So buying the remainder of the meters would open up to the rest of the city. So
You
you
s-
have 5,000 more customers to schedule appointments rather than,
You only have 1,800 installed so far, right, out of 3,000?
Yeah, but what he's saying is basically there's a certain part of town that only has the option to schedule the meters installed.
right.
If we ordered the remaining 5,060 meters, this opens up the whole entire city to schedule their installs.
Well, my question would be, why aren't we installing the other 1,200 meters then? If we can install 5,000, why can't we get 1,200 installed?
Part of that, whether we purchase all of the other meters or just a portion, that's a discussion we need to have internally, but we talked today of the possibility of opening it to more than one just area right now to speed up the installation process. I think that's something we talked about.
And I believe we picked the area that we were going to install them to, if I recall, right? We picked the area that we were going to install them to
Yeah,
begin
right.
with.
Based off the last cycle that we read, we picked that cycle to start for billing purposes, to give them time to install before billing was due again.
So are they going to hire more people to do the installs?
The more, according to them, the more appointments, the more installers there'll be. I mean,
I don't know. All right, well,
Yeah, like I said, just open it up for
Yeah.
discussion. This was an option that was presented to us.
I guess we'll find out. I mean, I know where I stand, but find out shortly, right?
Carol, got anything down here? You got anything, Carol?
Other than, can't we just tell them that all 5 commissions said no until we need to talk with them?
Yeah, that's why we
Right.
requested an extension
Right.
to at least give us a couple weeks to gather some
Just give
information.
us a couple of weeks to gather our
And then we were hoping to
information.
put it in closed session,
They're
but
either gonna
unfortunately it
lose a sale
wouldn't.
or they're gonna say, okay, we'll do that in hopes that they get a sale.
they're gonna get a sale anyway, they're the sole distributor for our region. So we can't buy the meter from anybody else.
So we got no power over.
We have no
Not
power.
when it comes to.
You always have
purchasing
power.
I
those
think the
meters.
real decision right now is
Buy them all or
if
buy them out?
we need to buy more meters for the next phase, whatever that phase looks like. That's, in my opinion, what I would consider right now.
Do we go for the
If
discount?
If we're January 1st gonna go buy another 2,000 because we need it for installation, then we should buy them by December 10th and save that money. If we're not, then I don't think the risk is worth the reward.
So we purchased 3,000 meters for the first cycle, is that correct?
I think we
Yeah,
have more than that,
3,600.
3,600, 51,
And how many are installed?
That,
1801, I believe.
So half in a year.
and that was, more meters were bought than what that cycle holds. So it was originally supposed to be 900 meters in that cycle in all the commercial accounts.
Well, we
For billing purposes, we opened up the rest of the cycle, so they ordered,
bill quarterly, right?
yeah,
We read the meters quarterly. So that's 4 cycles in a year. How many meters do we read in a quarter? All of them, right?
no,
No, we don't read the meters every quarter?
not every single one, no.
every month. But by the end of the quarter, you've got them all.
By the end of the quarter, we read them all.
Correct. So that's my point. You've already went through 4 cycles, and you still only have 1,800 meters installed.
Yeah, the ones that's remaining in the section they're doing now are people that are not responding to emails, to letters, to phone calls.
Well, that would be me at this point after trying to respond.
I'll add fuel to that fire. Did all residents in town that are on city water get some kind of notification? Because I can tell you, I have
No, this is
not.
only,
No, because it's only on a certain part of town.
Okay.
We did send out notices last year. We also sent out notices to the section that we are doing in June, and then Water Maintenance just sent out more notices, what, about a month ago? Reminding people in that section of town that, you know, they need to get their meters.
What section are you working on there?
Like the north and
Yeah.
east.
Okay.
It's like Center City.
Okay.
You know.
So we may have a lot of rentals in there,
Yeah,
which, I mean, would be the hardest
to hit, yeah.
thing. So
I was
we
just
probably
wondering, so.
didn't help our installation, the speed of our installation by picking a lot of rentals
It's a
out
tough,
of the gate.
the tough area.
So we can do some things, I think, internally to affect a quicker installation rate. I don't know how much quicker, but we could do some things by opening it up. And that's why I say if we need more meters, just generally speaking, we might as well take advantage of the discount. I wouldn't let the discount drive the purchase, though, in my opinion.
I agree with what you're saying, but you only got half of them in so far in a year. So you buy another 3,000 or another whatever, you're still not gonna have them in, judging by current performance, even if you tripled your performance.
Would this commission consider at least ordering half of them, like say 2,500, to open up the next cycle or open up?
I don't know,
the rest of the city?
Are you gonna have them in a year? It doesn't look like it.
Well, hopefully if we open up to the rest
Core
of the
Main's installing them, right?
Meter tech.
Meter Tech's installing them.
Yeah.
When's that contract up? Maybe we need to look at another installer.
Well, that, I mean,
It's not our subcontract.
it's not our subcontract.
Oh, that's all through
It's
there.
all through them.
With the purchase.
That's right.
Once the next phase or whatever it is, then Core Main then goes to the installers for pricing. So there are other installers out there, but it's whoever gives them the best price
So do we have a fixed price in the contract for the installer?
for phase one.
And that's what?
$125 for 5/8. I think 300 for inch and a half. It's 125 for inch and a half, or 5/8 and 1 inch. 300 for inch and a half and 2 inch, and then 3 inch, 4 inch, and 6 inch. All prices go up.
So if we buy, let's say we bought all those meters, and would that price be the same for the installation, or is that gonna change anyway?
It's good. The installation price is going to change because the prevailing wage on that.
So we don't even know what the total cost is gonna be anyhow.
Well, that was the reason that we were bringing this up, because it's not just the cost on the equipment for install, it also could be a potential cost for installation. So if we buy the equipment needed up front, we
Lock
sit
in
down
the
with
price.
Core and Main, we lock in an installation cost.
No, you don't, because you don't know how fast, if you knew how fast you were gonna get them in, that would be true, but you don't know that.
No, whatever our contract is, whatever we buy next, it's locked in for the.
Well, what did they say, how long did they say it was gonna take to put the first 3,000 meters in that we bought, or 3,600 meters? They must have said something. I don't remember, but
I mean, when they did the presentation here, they said the whole project, whatever the full price, they said, you know, soup to nuts, it would be 9 months, but, you know, that was ordering every meter for the entire city and opening it all up at once. That wasn't going in phases.
well, that makes me hard to believe what they tell you to.
Well, I mean,
They're using that for a bargaining chip like we're looking for a bargaining chip. That's what they're doing.
Well, that kinda answers all my questions anyway.
Any consideration for ordering partial?
If you were caught up or near caught up, I would say yeah, but, I mean, you tell me, if you order 500 more, does that help? If you order 1,000 more, does that speed anything up?
you'd have to open up
think we-
based on appointments, residents scheduling their appointments.
So we have no direct answer for that question either, right? That's another unknown.
No, because we'd have to, if we bought more, then we would have to open it up to,
I get it, we would have to open it up, but there's no, like you said, there's no guarantee of when they're gonna get it scheduled.
Is Core and Main the only player in this game as far as the meters go?
yeah, they're the distributor.
They're the only players. We can't look, what I'm getting at is Core and Main wanting us to commit
That's why they-
instead of piecemealing it where we could search for others. Is that into play here? Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the only, I think, way to do that is you would scrap everything that was done and start over
Yeah,
with a different company,
that,
so.
that, I'm just looking to see if they're trying to force a hand because they feel like it, or they're afraid we might jump ship, or the next commission might jump ship and get another price from somebody else to finish the project. That's basically my question.
I think it's kind of like getting rid of that 2025 model car.
Have we spoken to anybody else that has used them to install meters? Are they going through what we're going through
Recently, you mean, right?
recently?
mean,
Really know what he
There
talked
are
to,
other,
probably.
other towns that are doing the meter upgrade. I mean, that, like I said, in our region, if they're using census meters, Core Main, are their suppliers, and they supply the contract, they supply the installer.
They got the lock.
So how are they making out with their installs? Do we know that?
Now, I don't know for sure, but, these other towns. I know Meter Tech they are installing in some other towns as well as ours.
Questions?
Still seems like a lot of unknowns to me.
All right. The only thing I have is I just want to thank those that I asked to be here. Tracy, obviously I knew you were going to be here anyway, sir. Brian, thank you. Wayne, Michelle, Derek, and there's Trish over there. So thank you all for coming. So, that's all I have.
Thank you, Ms. Mayor Watson. Thanks to everybody for contributing to this discussion. It is a very convoluting one. It's
It is.
stressful.
My cons are more than my pros.
Yeah, I think we can agree
I'm
with
sure yours is too.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's one of those darn if we do and darn if we don't.
that. Absolutely. Rock between a hard
Absolutely.
place.
Yeah, a rock and a hard place.
Thank you, Vice Mayor Watson. I have nothing at this time. New business, public comment portion. We have now reached the public comment portion of our meeting. Anyone who would like to address the commission, please go to the podium, state your name, and address your concerns. Please limit your concerns to approximately 5 minutes. Thank you.
Tamara Davis, just a quick question on the discussion you just had regarding the water meters. What are the assurances that the city has that all the housing buildings, apartments, whatever, get the water meters that they are supposed to get?
That's a good question.
I mean, what is the guarantee?
That's a good question.
Because if you are purchasing these additional water meters, which I understand you need, but let's just say not everyone in the city responds and gets one, what are you going to do with the stock that will be left over? And I know you could use it for replacements, but then how long will it be replaced? I, for one, can tell you this. I have been watching closely. I have been waiting for the notification. I live in the Center City area. I have heard nothing. So I might get skipped over. There's a water meter that's not going to be used. So, I'm just wondering if every house that is every building that is supposed to get one is going to definitely get one. That's one issue, which I don't think has anything to do with the water meters, but with the company that's supposed to be installing them. And number two, what is the guarantee? What is the guarantee that all the money that we are spending will ensure that everyone who's supposed to have that meter in their building is going to get one?
I think
And
you're
there
gonna-
is none.
I think you're gonna know that when they go to read the meters and there's no meter reading for that address.
Yeah, that's a check and balance there.
Right, but,
Issue a summons.
right, but, okay, they'll issue a but if someone who doesn't get a notification ever, doesn't even know that the meter's supposed to be installed,
I
you
would
know.
hope, I would hope that there be a check and balance internally with.
well, that's
with
what I'm
water.
asking. Is
Yeah.
there a check and balance?
Like I say, that's a good question.
Because you're spending a lot of money. I mean, is that check and balance
Instead of
there?
just worrying
Because
about Core
otherwise,
Main, yeah.
I mean, I'm speaking personally, You mentioned you're in the Center City area. I live in the center of Center City, and I have not received any notification that these meters, I mean, I'm patiently waiting. I'm sure it'll come at some point. I'm sure I'll get it next week now that you know. But,
They're there now.
it's right there in my mailbox. You know, maybe I
got one in
missed
your
it.
pocket.
And this was one of the things that I requested when this water meter project started. Why couldn't there be a list of which phases you're going through and what phase is hitting what area? Just as at least the people that are paying attention can go look at a website and say, oh, okay, in next summer, they're gonna be in the western side. You know, they're gonna be on the eastern side or whatever, or even pin it down to maybe, you know, the exact addresses that they're going to pinpoint it. But it just seems like there's a lot of unknowns. I mean, obviously, the decision to purchase more water meters is up to you. I would carefully reconsider what you, based on the discussions that you just had. It does sound a little bit like a sales pitch, but, you know, I'm glad I'm not making the decision. But that was my question. Thanks.
Good point. Seeing no one else, I would close public comment portion. Closing comments of commissioners. Commissioner Hewitt, anything?
Nothing.
Commissioner Sui?
Nothing.
Hasbun?
Nothing.
Watson? Any rebuttal?
Yeah, just appreciation to all those that came out, expressed their opinions and their concerns. Obviously, we know it's a short time, but again, it's something that I didn't want to just make the decision not to do it myself. That's why I wanted to bring it to the commission. So I do appreciate everybody, and I understand your opinions.
That's what the work session's for. As we got scolded by Commissioner Sui some time ago. No, thanks. At least to blow through this work session, 30 seconds. No, thank you for all the input. It's a tough discussion to have, but it's well worth discussion to have with all the professionals here, so thank you for all. Resolution seeing none. Motion for adjournment, please.